are you doing?
Here we are, another video.
Another show, and thanks for tuning in. I've lost track. What number is this?
The weeks are flying by.
And they just
It's almost
flash
as
by.
if I don't even know what number show this could be.
It's not like we filmed it as a backup to put in somewhere.
Sure, man.
Is that trade secrets?
That's trade secrets.
Sorry. Okay. Well, we're going to do something a little bit different this week
is
anyway.
Good. This is good news. This is good for you.
So I've been working on an effect now, a packet trick, and it seems like I've been working on this for months. I remember showing you an earlier version of this back in April at the convention.
So, yeah,
I think it was, and it's evolved since then. So I'm going to share it with you guys, and please let me know what you think of it, but only if you like it. I'm just kidding. Let me know what you think of it.
Exclusive for them, isn't it?
Yeah, this is something that he's going to be coming out at some point anyway. But we've got 2 packets of cards, and they're from different packs, as you can see. And I'm going to show you what they are as well. So we've got so basically it's 2 packets of aces, okay? And these ones here, we'll come back to them in a second. Now these ones here, mate, I'm going to get you to just touch one of the aces for me. That one there, okay? So you've gone for diamonds.
Okay.
If I said to you that I knew you were going to go for the ace of diamonds, you probably wouldn't believe that, would you?
No.
So I can actually prove it. So from the other packet here, right on the back of the ace of diamonds, I actually wrote a prediction, and I wrote the ace of diamonds, proving that I knew you'd go for the ace of diamonds.
Right, but you must have.
Oh, you think there's something on the back of the ace of spades?
On the back of those ones as well.
Well, on the back of the ace of spades I wrote the ace of diamonds, and on the back of the ace of hearts I wrote the ace of diamonds, and on the back of the ace of clubs.
What a sucker I feel.
That's not a fake reaction. My wife could learn from that. But I tell you what, Graham, I'm so pleased that you went for the ace of diamonds. Do you know why?
No.
Well, if you'd have gone for this card, you would have won $500. And if you'd have gone for this card, guess what? You would have won $500. And if you'd have gone for this card, guess what?
$500.
Now you would have won a cheese sandwich. So there you go. That is a trick that's so new we haven't even got a name for it.
Yeah, unnamed.
So yeah, I mean, let us know what first of all if you like it, and then let us know a good name for it. So Graham, you think it should be called 2 casinos and a cheese sandwich?
Or something like that. I quite like the whole 4 weddings and a funeral, or 2 casinos and a cheese sandwich or something. I don't know, that.
Now I'm a big fan of one-word trick names, as you know, because it's. But you prefer the name that means something. Yeah,
that has something to do with the trick. So there's that many tricks out there that sometimes come out which the name doesn't really connect to what the trick is.
Correct.
Trying to think of a good example. But
Omen, one of my tricks, for example.
Yeah,
cloak means nothing.
Yeah, you've got no idea what this is. It a card trick, a coin trick, or whatever?
Yeah.
I get why you do that, but for me as a dealer, when people go, "Oh, what's cloak?" Whereas if it was called the amazing poker deal, they go, "Oh, it's something to do with the poker." You know what I mean?
But it's just rubbish, isn't it? You can do so much more with a. Did I tell you where cloak came from?
No, you didn't actually.
I might one day.
I was going to say, is that for the time?
No, do you know where it came from? It came from. So it's obviously Cluedo and poker, and then I thought I'll put the 2 together, and I got the word cloaker, and I thought, well, that doesn't mean anything. It sounds daft, so I shortened it to cloak.
Okay.
And that's all it was. And then I had an American magician who'd got a trick out years ago called the cloak, and then he accused me of stealing his idea, bizarrely, and it wasn't. The trick was nothing like it. But
right.
We won't talk about that.
Odd.
Very odd. So yeah, if you can think of a cool name for the trick, that would be amazing. And if we use your name, then you'll win
a cheese sandwich.
A cheese sandwich, yeah. Might even put some Marmite on it. My favourite, cheese and Marmite, lovely. So there you go, mate. So that's something we're working on.
We're working on some other stuff as well.
We've got plenty of other new stuff
that'll be coming
out
throughout the year.
Some tricks of mine, some of other magicians.
Yep.
Hopefully a new Gary Jones effect, or a new old Gary Jones effect. I think it's safe to say. That's something that we're working on, and we've got a few other things in the pipeline. So keep your eyes out for that. And this week we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to go back to the old school twice and just do one review, because people are telling us that they really like the old school stuff.
Yeah, like stuff that they think they've missed.
That they're getting about tricks that they've, either they haven't seen them before, or very often it's sitting in the old magic drawer of doom, which we've all got. And you forgot you've got it.
Yeah, and then you start performing again. So that was really good.
Yeah, and why did I stop doing that? Yeah. In fact, I did it myself in an earlier show. I performed Poker Test 2.
Yeah.
And I've started doing it again.
Yeah,
I've just forgotten about it, how good it is. So shall we get to the old school?
Let's get to it.
Let's get there.
So back to the old school.
This is the first trip to the old school,
This is the first trip to the old school, and it's by Magic Dream in France, and it is Choice by Jerome. Pronounce that, because you're pronouncing.
Jerome Salou.
Salou.
Salou. I imagine the P's silent, but I could be wrong there.
So this is a few years old.
I'd never heard of this trick. Graham performed this trick on me in the shop earlier today, and it's safe to say it fooled me. It did fool me. Magic Dream, I've got some really... If you've never checked out Magic Dream as a company, I did their convention a few years ago in Paris. Me and Craig Petty were on the bill together, and I hadn't really seen much of their line before. And obviously, while I spent some time with the guys over there, they've got some fantastic stuff, some really great stuff in their lineup. So, should we have a look at the trailer first?
Yeah, let's look at the trailer, and then we'll talk about it. So there we go. That's the trailer for Choice. And like you said, it's a fooler. Now, I've been performing this for a good few years. I'll be honest, I demonstrate it more in the shop and at conventions than I do work in it. Although I have worked it a couple of times at
You said that you do sometimes do it for the bride and groom?
Sometimes I do it for the bride and groom, or if I'm at a party, I'll do it for a couple or two friends or something like that.
The thing about this is, if you're doing this for the bride and groom, for example, you could tailor the cards. You could write something on there.
Yeah, I was going to come on to that.
And completely.
Yeah, the two cards that they stop on are not gimmicked. They are regular cards, so you can substitute in anything you want. It could be a blank card, could be signatures, could be whatever you want.
And you could use something like the Ace of, or the King of Hearts and the Queen of Hearts for a wedding, for example. Yeah, two romantic cards. And,
a couple of things to say about it. The cards are literally as they look. So even to a magician, they can examine the cards afterwards, both decks of cards. The magician never has to touch the cards at any point.
No.
I give them to the bride and groom generally, or the two people. You don't touch the cards.
Well, you did it on me and Taylor.
Yeah. You take them out of the box, you steal them down, you swap them around.
Taylor, like the cheeky little scamp that he is, he stood next to me, he's like, I know how it's done. And let me think that for at least 10 minutes, and I was going, let me see it again. And he did it again. I still ain't got a clue. And then he admitted that he's actually bought this and got it himself.
But the cards are
He's smiling over there, look.
Yeah. But a lot of magicians, when they pick them up, they can feel them because they're handling them. They know they're not rough and smooth.
Well, I couldn't find it.
They're not thin cards.
There is a gimmick in there.
There is.
But I didn't find it.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not true. I found it eventually after an extended time looking for it. After you told me there was a gimmick.
Yeah.
When I handled the deck the first time, I wasn't aware that there was a gimmick.
When I first saw this trick, by the way, it fooled me. So it's not like, I'm not. It fooled me when I first saw it.
It's really, it's great. It's really great. And I don't know. It's just so many subtleties in there.
Yeah.
And the one, and well, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give the method away, so I'm not going to. But that kicker ending at the end when the cards are all blank.
Yeah.
In both decks.
And
Beautiful.
it's in their hands, so then like because the deck, it's not like some other effects where you turn them over and they're all blank, but it's a gimmick deck. The magician has to hold them. The spectators holding their own blank pack of cards, which can then be examined. Like I said, I've done this at a lot of conventions. It fools 99% of magicians that I've ever shown it to, which is why I like doing it. I know it's been out of stock for a while, but it's just come back into stock, which is why we're talking about it today.
Yes.
Is it easy to do?
Yes.
Self-working. I mean, it's completely self-working.
You don't touch the cards.
You don't touch the cards, so you can't get any more self-working.
The
spectator physically does the moves, does the trick for you.
The only thing that you have to do is you have to make sure that the cards are set up correctly in the first place.
Yeah.
But it's not difficult.
There is a little bit of a setup, so if you were table hopping it, it's not really a trick to table hop.
I think you could.
You'd have to go and spend about, I would say you could reset in 30 seconds, 45 seconds or something.
There you go.
You'd have to go.
You wouldn't do it at every table.
You couldn't walk from a table straight to the next one. It's not an instant reset.
But you could do it at one table, and then when they're having the main course, for example, you could set it up and do it at another table.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And as you said earlier, so what I would do, so for me personally, I think the King and Queen of Hearts at a wedding is a great idea. Okay.
Yeah.
But also, in the wedding, you sometimes get booked for that bit in between bit in the afternoon when there's not much going on. It's great for that as well.
Yeah, because it's a little bit more involved.
Spend a bit more time with people.
Yeah, it's perfect for that.
Yeah.
It's £35. For me, it's priced about the right sort of price thing. You're not going to get it and go, wow, these are amazing gimmicks. It's not one of those.
It doesn't matter. It's the effect you're paying for, isn't it?
But yeah, I would agree with you. And I've bought it because I use it. So
I'd buy it
yes,
and
it's
use it.
£35, but like I said, there's not like an amazingly well-made gimmick or something like that, like there is with some things. But I think it's worth every penny.
I think with in this instance, so sometimes when we review something, you're paying for a really well-made, clever gimmick and stuff. But with this, I think what you're paying for is the routine, which is great, which is really clever.
Yeah,
and I think with the amount of thought that's gone into this, I think that's what you're paying for, and rightly so.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, 40 years ago, this may be something that would have appeared in a book, but them days are gone.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah. I mean,
I think it's really good.
If it was in a book, there's still some things you would have to buy. You'd have to buy some things. So you couldn't do this. You couldn't make this yourself for free.
No.
You'd have to go into a magic shop and buy some things to be able to do it with. So
some
for me,
you're
better off, for a start. So you're better off just buying it, in my opinion.
Well, blank cards, how much are they?
£7.50 a pack.
So it's 15 quid for the two decks of cards before you started.
Before you're even talking about anything else, before you're talking gimmicks and stuff. So there we go. So for me, it's a thumbs up. Do I like it? Yes. Would I buy it? Yes, I already have. And would I use it? Yes, I already do.
Same. I don't do it now, but I think I will do in the future. Yeah. It's really good. I like it.
Great trick. Easy to do, self-working. Thumbs up from me.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and me.
So let's move on to the next review.
Yeah.
Our next review, old school.
Old school. We're staying in the old school.
We're going to stay.
Imagine this, you walk up to someone, hand them a deck of cards, have them think of any playing card. You then tell them you made a prediction inside the deck they're holding. In fact, you turned over the 4 aces because you're pretty sure they're thinking of an ace. They say no, they're thinking of the 4 of clubs. At this point, they think you've blown the effect until they turn over those 4 aces, revealing the name of their thought of card. This is a killer effect. You can work this with any card named. This is a prediction system built right into a deck of cards. It's easy to do, it's powerful, there are multiple presentations that are included on this project. This is a worker, this is any card. Isn't that weird, man?
So that was the trailer for Any Card by Richard Sanders. And I'll say right here and now, Richard Sanders is one of my favourite creators. I still, to this day, do fibre optics. And I also dust off now and again one of his Stickman routines from the Richard Sanders Show DVDs that came out
he's
20 odd years ago.
a proper worker.
Yeah.
Like a real world. Everything he does is suitable for people who go out and actually perform stuff and work. I
mean, some of his stuff, like, he was releasing it 20 plus years ago, and I just still think it's like absolutely, if it comes out again, it still feels fresh and new. Yeah. And a lot of the effects that he put on the Richard Sanders Show DVD set, he then went on to release again later on as standalone tricks, which was kind of the trend.
I think a lot of workers out there will have something in their repertoire that they do regularly, which is by Richard Sanders. Would you say that's fair to say?
I would say that is fair to say,
yeah. I would say most workers would have that.
So, Any Card, I've actually got an effect similar to this in some respects, which is called Omen, which I know you've seen. This takes it in, it's almost exactly the same plot, but it's just done slightly differently. And Paul Wilson has also got something that he's called the Predator deck that came out with Penguin Magic last year, I think, which is really a really great way to go as well. But as you saw on the video there, they can name any card. They then bring out the 4 aces, and the card that they name is written on the back, and it's as
clean as that.
It's as clean as that, really.
It's as clean as that. It's got a great twist surprise. It's kind of like Invisible Deck, but it's got a surprise twist to it, which you don't get with Invisible Deck.
I mean, do you prefer the Invisible Deck to this? I think the Invisible Deck is more versatile.
Yes, well, I think it's more versatile. I prefer this.
As a standalone trick, I think I agree, yeah.
Yeah, I think I would do, well, I have done this before.
A lot of people say they use an Invisible Deck as an out, but I couldn't tell you the last time normally for me, if I need an out in a card trick, I'll just do it on the fly. Me too. Just cull it, palm it, whatever.
Now, I probably shouldn't say this because he'll tell us off for saying this, but as a magician in the
don't
UK...
Don't name him, and then it will be okay.
Well, he's called Paul.
Okay.
And he's told me not to sell these.
Yeah?
Because he likes it that much. He doesn't want anybody in the northeast doing this trick.
Okay.
Because he loves it and he buys them. When it runs out, he buys another one, or he loses it, or he gets it broken, or he drops it on the floor. He'll buy another one, and I know he uses it a lot and he loves it. And that's how good.
So when a busy pro like him uses it in their set, then it's good, right?
Yeah, 100%. How easy is it to do, Chris?
Well, it's really easy to do if you can handle a pack of cards with this particular ruffian spray. If you can handle an Invisible Deck, you can do this trick.
Yeah, you can handle this, So if you can do Invisible, 95% of people are going to be able to do that. It's very easy to do. But I think it's Invisible Deck with a nice twist. And I love magic with a twist, which is something we should talk about actually at some point in the future. I like magic with like surprises, like this, for instance, where you don't see something coming. I love plot twists.
We'll explore that in more depth, actually. That's an interesting thing because sometimes it depends on the effect that you perform. Sometimes I love to tell the audience what's going to happen before they get there. And it makes it seem more impossible.
Yeah, that's right,
and then other times, thank you. And then other times, like you say, the surprise and everything is all part of it, we were talking earlier
about... I was
about...
comparing it to movies.
Yeah.
I love a trick that I don't see what's coming.
Yeah,
I like
so,
tricks like
so
that.
like the Sixth Sense as a card trick.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, Any Card, Richard Sanders, big thumbs up from both of us. If you haven't got it and you like the look of it on the video, I suggest you go out and get it because it is that good and that easy to do.
Yep. So there you go.
So there you go. Yeah. I think we'll be off to the over to you section next.
Over to you. That's next.
It's over to us. So somebody sent a question in again, haven't they, Graham?
Yes. Taylor,
come stick your face in the camera so people know what you look like.
Yeah.
Go on, Taylor.
I do have to. Hang on. I'm not sure if this
There's
is...
Taylor.
There's
Taylor.
Yeah. I don't know.
Just look. There's doesn't he look happy? He's a moody teenager, everybody.
So Taylor's question was?
Yes, it was. What was our first experience of live magic?
Yeah, like the first magician that you saw that.
Yeah.
So maybe it's inspired you a little bit, maybe.
I mean, we'll talk about that. Did it inspire you?
It did.
And so
I'll go first.
You go first.
Could be on a while.
I'll go first.
It was David Copperfield.
Oh no! Right, forget that. And who was the other one?
Okay, well, there was kind of two. The first person I ever saw do magic was on TV, and it was David Copperfield.
No, but live.
The first person I saw live was Russ Stevens.
Oh wow!
At Mystique at Blackpool.
Ah.
So I'll not.
So this was like a proper illusion show.
Yeah. So my parents used to take me, my brother, and my sister to Blackpool every year.
Didn't they like you?
And every year. Well, look, we lived.
And you're still there every year?
We didn't have a lot of money, we couldn't go abroad. We sometimes went camping and things. We had a touring caravan, so it was a massive treat for us to go to Blackpool.
We didn't have a lot of money, but we had a touring caravan.
Yeah, you know, the one that clips on the back of your car.
I know what a touring caravan is.
So it was a massive treat for us to go to Blackpool, stay in a hotel.
So, I mean, listen, I was being facetious. It was exactly the same when did you get to the illuminations and all that
yes,
stuff?
Yes, went to illuminations, went to see Russ Stevens in Mystique, and we went every year.
Fabulous.
It was a thing that went to see, and I was probably about 9 or 10 when I went to see Russ Stevens.
And were you interested in magic at that point?
Yes.
Already?
Which is why I started.
So where did the interest come from then? I mean,
it's not an exciting story. My granddad was in the circus and used to get fired out the cannon, and he missed and died. No, that's not the story at all. I just got a Paul Daniels magic. It's not exciting. I got a Paul Daniels magic set for Christmas when I was about 9. My parents realised I was into magic, so I went to Blackpool that year. They took us all to see Russ Stevens at Mystique, because that was the show to go and see at Blackpool. There was nothing else.
Wow.
And then we went every year since.
And so what year would that have been then when you were 9?
It was 1999, so it was either 89, 99, somewhere around there, around the sort of 90s.
So Paul Daniels magic sets were still around.
I got me Paul Daniels
time.
set in 89. It's actually over there in the case.
Because I don't remember. Was he still on the TV at that point then? He must
have been. Yeah. He was. Daniels was on the TV right through the 90s because he had Secrets, which was his last one. Oh, okay. Secrets, the world's most amazing nightclub.
And when did he do Whizbit?
Whizbit was late 80s, was it early 90s maybe.
If you haven't seen Whizbit,
don't bother.
Well, it's worth watching just for the theme tune because he sings the theme tune.
Yeah, one thing worth looking up though is Secrets. Is Paul Daniels' Secrets.
I don't remember that.
What a show that was, man. Did
he have lots of guests on?
Yeah, exactly. So you had the whole show was guests, and he did a little bit, but mainly it was guests. So that was the first time I ever seen Juan Tamarez. It was the first time I ever saw Tom Mulligan was on there.
I don't remember that.
It was fantastic. What a great show it was.
Because same as you, right? I used to love watching the Paul Daniels show when I was a kid. But so there was two things for me that stick out the most. One was I always used to love the Bunko booth for some reason. I just loved that swindle bit. But the other thing was Hans Moretti. And I think we spoke about this before.
He was on Secrets.
But, oh man, I used to get so excited when I knew Hans Moretti was on there because, and I still to this day don't know how much of that was tricks and how much of that was actually real.
Yeah.
I've no idea.
It was a great show. I'll be honest, I wasn't a massive fan of Paul Daniels. And then when I went to see Russ Stevens, it just absolutely blew me socks off. Because Russ Stevens was kind of like this dark and cool guy, illusions. And it kind of reminded us a little bit of David Copperfield, which I'd already been watching since I was 8 or 9 on TV. So when I saw that type of magic live, it blew my socks off.
What was he doing in the show back then?
I can tell you pretty much the whole show, but I'm not going to. He opens with Shadowbox.
Okay.
Shadowbox with I can even remember the music he uses. He uses Shadowbox at the start, and he had it impaled, and the music he used was from the Lost Boys. Cry, little sister. Da, da, da. I don't know if he used it for that illusion or one of the others, but I can vividly remember lots of the show. And like I said, we went every year.
He looked the part, didn't he, Russ?
Brilliant.
You know,
black leather jacket. He was just cool.
I
was 9, 10. He was like, wow, that's what I want to be.
It's mad, that's really, that you know the fact that you know him now and all the rest of it.
I know.
And you know, and he's grumpy and everything. And
so that's mine. Let's move on to yours.
Do you know what? Bizarrely, I can't even tell you the name of the guy who it was because my parents booked him. So I was obviously watching magic on TV as well, and they booked him for a party at my house, and he came and did a magic show in this birthday party for me, and I found a photograph of him recently. I did put it on social media, and I was trying to get the name of the guy, and I put it out there, nice, and nobody could remember what his name was. None of the local people knew his name, but you could tell it was 1970s, right? Because he had a tuxedo jacket on, black tuxedo, dicky bow.
I was just about to say, what year was it? Was it like around the Houdini times for you? You're not that much older than me, I don't think, but 70s, you think?
It must have been about, well, I was born in 71, but the end of 71, so we'll say 72, and I must have been about 5 or 6. So, yeah, it must have been about 1978, I think. Around 78.
So you had the tux on?
No, I hadn't finished.
Okay.
So he got the black, so he had a big black bow tie, but one of them big droopy ones, right?
Okay.
The white shirt, the black tuxedo jacket, and red flares.
Wow.
And he had a pair, it was a strong look, right? He had a pair of red flares on. And I don't remember this as a kid. The only thing I remember as a kid, because I was so young, was he was doing the linking rings. And I just remember being just gobsmacked because these rings were just melting through each other. And I can still remember just sitting there with my mouth open and stuff. And that was it for me. My love of magic was born, really. Yeah. And I just watched it all on TV. But sadly, don't know the guy's name at all.
See, for me, that's why I like still doing kid stuff, because I know how much of an effect that we, or me as a magician, can have on a 5-6-year-old. That, you know what I mean? Who's never seen a live magician before.
Steve Deller, you know Dave Oakley, right?
Yeah.
So Steve Deller saw Dave Oakley. He was his first.
Right. I think I did know that.
Actually. And those two guys are really good friends now, right? And Steve's gone on to have Steve's an amazing magician, right? Young Magician of the Year, member of the Inner Magic Circle, you know, and he's a creator, performer, and all that kind of stuff. And it was Dave that sparked his sort of love of magic.
Yeah, I just think you're always going to remember that first time that you saw somebody live.
If it hadn't have been for all the problems I had with my throat, I probably would have carried on doing kid shows. I think I'm probably a little bit too old now to do the full 2-hour kid shows, but I would probably still do a magic show for children.
Just because of that fact.
Yeah. I think it's a great point that you're making, and inspiring the next generation of magicians. Yeah. And we're quite lucky at the fact that we can do it now from being at conventions and stuff. I mean, don't send them all over to my stand now. I'm going to say this, but I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm going to say it anyway. Whenever a kid comes to my stand at Blackpool or a convention and they're showing interest, I always give them a trick. Always. Yeah. And it's not a rude one before you say anything. I'll always give them a trick, because I just, like you say, you know, the fact that you can, it was quite nice in a way. A couple of years ago, do you remember when we were at Merlin's Day? Was it 2 years ago or something?
Yes. Yeah.
So I had my stand just across from you. Yes. And Darren McDonald was comparing the show that night. Now, I've known Darren since he was about, I don't know, maybe 12 or 13 or something. I met him at Blackpool. Me and Gary Jones had a stand together. And I didn't realise that this had had such a profound effect on Darren. We spent ages going through some 3-fly routines with Darren, with his dad in the hotel, and some card stuff and all the rest of it. In the bar, you know, and we spent, I don't know, maybe an hour going, and it stuck with him all these years.
Yeah, so Darren was in the juniors, the Northern Juniors, which unfortunately the Northern Juniors doesn't happen anymore. But
he used to be on the Blackpool stage show every year as well, hadn't he?
Yeah,
fabulous performance.
This is also one of the reasons why I run the Neptunes. So if anybody doesn't know, here at Magicbox we run the Neptune Junior Magic Circle, which
is that named after Cynthia Neptune?
Yeah, it's named after Cynthia and Johnny Neptune, who used to run the Northern Juniors, which I was a member of. Okay. Martin was a member of. Paul Linton was a member. Darren, who you're just talking about, Nick Mohammed. Yeah. So there's a lot of magicians who were all part of
good
the
magicians as well.
Well, all of them except me. I thought that was coming. All of them except me. And so I've sort of took that over, and we run that here at the shop. And it's kind of,
I need to come up and do a bit for him one of the times.
We'll have talked about that briefly, but there we go. Hopefully that's answered the question.
I think it's really great, and and inspiring future magicians. What a great thing. So nice one.
Yeah, so for anybody out there, really, if you have got the chance, like you said, sometimes you don't realise the effect that it has on the person that you're doing it for at that time.
And actually, that's brought something back to me. A few years ago, I was doing a close-up gig somewhere, and there was a kid there, and he must have been about, maybe 14 or 15 or something. And he started off and he went, I hate magic. And I was like, why? And he said, Mr. I don't know, Puddles or wherever his name is, he named a kids magician, ruined my life. And I was like, what? He said, he ruined my life. And I was like, is that not being a bit dramatic, you know? And basically, this kids magician got this kid up in school and he asked him what his name was. And then he took the mickey out of his name. And like, let's say his name's Graham and he's like, you know, Gayam or something like that. I mean, he wasn't that, but it was something. But he basically took the mickey out of his name and called him something else, and it stuck with this kid all the way through. And he says he absolutely ruined his life up until he got to secondary school. Wow. He said, and he hated magic. And then I did some close-up magic, and he hated it even more. No, he kind of won him over a bit. But he said this guy. So always be aware of the impact that you have on kids. You know, they're very impressionable. So there you go.
There we go.
That's the moral of that story, kids.
Should we move on?
I think we should.
Let's move on.
Review time. Review time.
Review time. I've already got one this week.
We're just doing the one this week, yeah. So this is Magic Markers by Murphy's Magic. And let's have a quick look at the trailer.
Boop, 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 boop. And automatically, when you tap it, your magic changed the Sharpie. Take a look.
No, bro.
What does it say?
3 o'clock, no!
What if the pen your spectator used to sign their card was also a secret miracle? Introducing Magic Markers, 4 professional pens hiding powerful revelations. The first phase sets them up for what's to come. Would you be impressed if your card was in your hand? Read the Sharpie. What does it say? Read it. Yeah, and you said you would be impressed if your card. In the second phase, magic starts happening in their hands. But guess what happens here? Give her the Sharpie. Guess what happens when you tap your 3 of clubs? Tap it.
Bro, no, stop!
Tap the club, and the club. Boop, boop, boop. And automatically.
Yeah?
Look.
No, bro, no.
But wait. I don't want to do anything. But here's the crazy thing. It said your card. But what does it say now? Take a look.
No, bro.
What does it say?
3 o'clock, no! It says 3 o'clock, bro.
But if it says 3 of clubs there, what happens to your 9 of diamonds?
Oh my god!
You receive 1 pen that says your card, and 3 pens that are boldly printed with playing cards. You already carry a Sharpie with you. Now, make it magical in their hands. The 3 of clubs is in your hands.
Bro,
what the? You're not limited to 1 reveal or to 1 spectator. With just 4 Sharpies, the possibilities are endless. With so many routines taught, you'll find something that's perfect for your skill level. Hand them a pen, let them sign, and reveal the miracle hiding in plain sight.
wow!
This is Magic Markers from Murphy's Magic.
Yo, what? Well, how are you doing this?
So there you go. That was the trailer for Murphy's Magic Markers. How many times can you get magic on one side of a box?
I will say this about markers. You know, you sometimes forget how good a reaction just a simple card revelation can get on a weird object. I love card revelations, and I think sometimes as magicians we overlook.
Well.
Card revelations.
I totally agree with you. Card revelations are great. However, what he was doing in the performance there was he was mixing sleight of hand with gimmicks, which is the strongest kind of magic, right? You know, you obviously you're forcing the cards. Got to be a convincing force. But then you've got the pen where it says your card. Not the best gag in the world, but it's okay. But then first the card changes into the second card, and then the pen changes to reveal the other card. And as you said, you know, I mean, her reaction, although a little bit over the top, it looked genuine.
Yeah.
And you know, there's nothing to say that you would get a good reaction from that. I think you would get a good reaction. I haven't tried it myself.
Yeah, well, I used to do not exactly that routine, but I did used to do a revelation on a Sharpie. And it did get good reactions. I don't know why I stopped doing it. I think I lost the Sharpie and
yeah, I used to use the John Horn one smudged.
Smudged, yeah. I think I had
which
that
I
as well.
really liked. I always preferred, personally, where you had Sharpie on one side and then the revelation on the other side.
Yes.
So you could do a paddle move and then show it, and then I think it was Richard Sanders again, wasn't it? Who, talking about him earlier. I'm sure it was Richard Sanders who put it out. It was remarkable or something like that. It was called.
Yeah.
So you'd show the
does ring a bell.
Sharpie thing, and then you turned it over as you shake it, and then it looked like the letters were changing into the playing card. I've got to be honest, I prefer that.
Yeah.
But having said that, this is still really good for what you get. This is good value for money, right?
So you get,
four
pens, four Sharpies, obviously with the different print on.
So we could, I mean, it shows you in the trailer, doesn't it? So you get the your card one, and then you get three. So you get the 3 of clubs, you get the 7 of spades, and you get the Queen of hearts.
Yeah.
Now the Queen of hearts one is a great one to have in your pocket anyway, because if you say to a woman, name a card, right, there's always a decent chance that she's going to go for the Queen of hearts. So right away, I'm going to be putting that in my pocket and carrying it around just in case that happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And just use that as a regular Sharpie.
Yeah.
And then what would you do? Get it to sign it, pass the pen out, get it to sign it, and then
I mean,
leave it on the table
the
or
thing,
something. I don't know.
people-
Loads you can do, isn't there?
When I first started performing sort of close-up magic all them years ago, people in this country weren't familiar with Sharpies. But now it's everybody knows a Sharpie, don't they?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like there used to be beryl markers and things like that back in the day. But now, you know, I think if you just handed that to people and said just
100%.
and one thing that we haven't mentioned really is using things like this. It's an extra. It's not an extra prop to carry around, is it?
No.
It's something that you're going to be carrying around with you anyway.
So you may as well
it's a pen.
substitute it in.
So you can use it and add something that's always there as an extra card reveal. You know, even if you don't do the routines that they teach, you've always got it on there. Should you want it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, $17.99. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, the quality of the pens is very good. I will add that.
Yeah. And of course you can change the ink when they run out and stuff.
But I would say the quality is very, very good. I would say they're as good, if not even better than a Sharpie. They feel really good.
They feel premium, don't they?
Yeah, they feel premium. You do sometimes get these like copy Sharpies, you know, and you can tell they feel a little bit, I don't know, they're obviously all plastic, but they don't feel as good as a regular Sharpie. The ink's not as clear.
I've not handled one, so I wouldn't know.
But yeah, so they, you know, it comes with 4 things. I don't really know what else to say about it. The tutorial's about an hour long, and there's loads of stuff on there, loads of different ideas. Some stuff that you probably would never even have thought of.
I think it's a good starting point now, isn't it? Because you can take it and do different stuff with it later on, you know. And the idea of having 2 cards selected, and you're doing a transposition, and then one of the cards is on the side of the pen, I think is a good one. I think it's a really good idea. And the your card, you know, would you be impressed if your card was on the pen? I put a thing out years ago. I don't know if you ever remember this, where it said, look, like in the Sharpie logo, it said look, and then underneath where the fine print is, it says in the magician's mouth. And I used to use it as misdirection while they were reading the pen. I just loused the card into my mouth.
Right, yeah.
It said look in the magician's mouth, and I look up and the signed card's there.
Yeah.
So that, you know, that's another idea that I used to do. But no, honestly, like you say, not too much to say about it other than I'd use it. I'd buy it for 18 quid. If nothing else, you've got 4 Sharpies.
Yeah, same with me. Would I buy it? Yes. Would I use it? Yes. Do I like it? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a, you know, like I said, you can just substitute it in. You ready to go?
There you go then. So that, my friend, is that for this week?
That is. We're looking forward to the next one. We've got more reviews and more old school stuff. And let us know what you think in the comments about the old school. A lot of people tell us when we see them that they prefer the old school stuff to just the new stuff, because there's that many review shows out there already which review the new stuff. Nobody sort of looks at stuff that people have missed.
And plus Graham's got a shop full of old stuff he needs to sell.
And plus it's good for us because we get to see old stuff and we go, that's blooming good, that's
Well, it happened today because I'd never seen that one trick before. So that's something for me. That was a new thing. It was great.
Yeah,
it was great.
So there we go. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. And keep
subscribe
up to date.
button.
Yeah, keep up to date with the videos.
Have a great week. See you next week. Bye for now.
Adios.